Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Solskjaer has 2 games to save his job as Manchester United manager, say players. Manchester United's next 2 games are Atlanta. We play them tonight in the Champions League group stage. And Manchester United have got a massive game on Sunday against Liverpool. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is under pressure because Manchester United have only won 2 of their last 7 games in all competitions. Manchester United are winless in their last 3 league games. Now ahead of the game against Atlanta, Solskjaer defends his Manchester United record, but accepts that the pressure is on following a bad run of results. After the 4-2 defeat to Leicester, The Athletic said that Solskjaer's job is safe, so Solskjaer will not be sacked by Manchester United despite Man United's poor form. If bad results persist, I think Solskjaer will be gone by Christmas. I can't see Solskjaer getting until the end of this season unless results improve in quick succession. Now, Antonio Conte is the favourite to replace Solskjaer. It said yesterday that Antonio Conte is waiting for a call from Manchester United. Conte is available. He left Inter Milan at the end of last season. And it said earlier on this season that Conte would accept the Man United job if Solskjaer was to get sacked. And earlier on this season, Conte made it clear that he wants a winning project. So reflecting on that, he rejected Arsenal and he rejected Tottenham. There's a lot of Manchester United fans that are demanding Conte in. I think if Conte came to Manchester United, he'd get us back to that level where we should be and he'd suit the strappings of the club. Conte is a better manager than Solskjaer. Conte's got a good pedigree behind him, won a lot of silverware in his home nation. And when Conte managed Chelsea, he won the Premier League in his first season, so he's managed in the Premier League before, which is beneficial. There's also been some Man United fans demanding Zidane in. Some United fans would prefer Zidane to Conte. Ronaldo recommends Zidane. Reports from Spain said that Manchester United have contacted Zidane. I think Manchester United have also held talks with Erik ten Hag. If Solskjaer does get sacked, he will be the 4th permanent manager to be sacked since Ferguson, because we've already sacked 3 managers since Ferguson. We sacked David Moyes, we sacked Louis van Gaal, and we sacked Jose Mourinho. Solskjaer has run out of excuses, because revert back to what I've said before, Manchester United have got a very good squad. It's a title winning squad, so in reality Manchester United should be winning the Premier League this season. Plus Manchester United enjoyed a very good summer transfer window this year. We made 4 signings. We brought Tom Heaton in on a free from Aston Villa, brought Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund, brought Varane in from Real Madrid, and we re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo after 12 years. Manchester United spent around 141 million in the summer transfer window. Plus Solskjaer received very good backing. Darren Fletcher backed him. John Murtough backed him. John Murtough is our director of football. We made the right decision getting a director of football in, because I did mention that's one of the structural changes we needed at the club. And Murtough said during the international break that we need to keep control and we will not deviate from the plan. Ed Woodward has also backed Solskjaer. Well, Woodward said a long time ago that he'd back Solskjaer, and he assured that Solskjaer's job was safe even when we was enduring them bad periods. Woodward is leaving Manchester United. It got announced he was leaving back in April when that European Super League came into the equation. Woodward's had a 16-year association with the club. In January, Richard Arnold will replace Ed Woodward as the vice chairman. The Glazers also backed Solskjaer in the summer transfer window, but only because they'd been persuaded to. Because as you all know, towards the end of last season, the Glazers were planning to scrap the Champions League for that European Super League, and reflecting on that, there was Manchester United fans that protested against the Glazers. The Glazers have been at Manchester United for 16 years. They purchased the club for 500 million back in 2005. But like I've said before, in regards to Solskjaer, he has to win a trophy as Manchester United manager. He's not yet won a trophy as manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017, and earlier on this season Solskjaer did say that we must leave a legacy of silverware. Well, we know Solskjaer's ambition for this season, and that's to win the Premier League. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. We're not going to win the Premier League under Solskjaer. This season is Solskjaer's 3rd full season as Man United manager, and I did mention at the start of this season that this season was going to be massive for Ollie because he's got big expectations to exceed. In the summer, Solskjaer signed a new contract with the club until 2024. There's an option of a further year. And like I said, we made a mistake giving him that contract, because I can assure he won't see it out, and a lot of United fans will agree with me on that aspect. If Solskjaer is still Manchester United manager in December, he'll be celebrating 3 years in charge. Reflecting how long Solskjaer's been Manchester United manager, he's gained some managerial experience and he's learnt quite a bit on the job. But there's still plenty of things Ollie's got to learn because he's still a young coach. But my concerns about Solskjaer is his decision making, because analysing the vast majority of the games he's managed at Man United, he's been tactically naive, and he doesn't have a proven pedigree as a manager. So there you go. I just feel as though that Solskjaer is in a position that he shouldn't be in, and I just think that the expectations are far too high for Solskjaer to exceed. Solskjaer got appointed in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. He's been permanent Manchester United manager since March 2019. The reason he got the job permanently back in March 2019 was reflecting how well he did as the interim manager. I am surprised that Solskjaer is still Manchester United manager, but like I've mentioned so many times before, the reason he's still manager of Man United is because he's a legend of the club. That's what's basically saved his job. Manchester United have spent 441 million under the Solskjaer era so far, and Solskjaer has brought 14 players in. In the summer of 2019, he brought Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January 2020, he brought Bruno Fernandez in and Odi Nagalo in on loan. In the summer of 2020, he brought Edison Cavani in, Donny van de Beek, Alex Telles, Amad Diallo and Facundo Pellistri. And in this year's summer transfer window, he brought Heaton in, Sancho, Varane and re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo after 12 years. Solskjaer's enjoyed like 5 transfer windows now as permanent Man United manager. Ollie's also got rid of a lot of players since he's come in. He's loaned players out. He's also got rid of a lot of players permanently. You can say that some progress has been made under Ollie, like I've mentioned before. Sorry about that, just very, very first. But yeah, progress has been made under him because got us to 3 semi-finals in his first full season. Last season, he got us to the EFL Cup semi-final. Last season, got us to the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. And last season, he got us to the Europa League final. And that was his first major final as Man United manager. But unfortunately, we lost the final. So there you go, and last season he got us a 2nd place finish, and in his first full season he got us a 3rd place finish. Don't forget as well, we went 29 games unbeaten away from home in the Premier League. I also like the way Solskjaer develops the youth. That is a positive. And Solskjaer's more or less giving everybody their chances to express themselves, including the young players, like he showed he would do when he got appointed in as Man United manager. I have criticised Solskjaer a lot during his managerial tenure, but I've had my reasons behind it. But despite that anyway, I've got to turn around and make an admission and say, yeah, he has done a pretty good job to say the current squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager. Because he was inheriting a lot of deadwood, and he's still inheriting some of the deadwood now. I didn't expect him to do as well as he has done. I thought he'd have done far worse, if I'm going to be honest with you. So in that aspect, I am shocked. But revert back to what I've said before. When we're inconsistent, and when we've been inconsistent, and when in general results aren't going our way, not all of the blame stems from Solskjaer. There's also certain players that have got to take responsibility, because there's still some players at Man United that are not good enough to represent the club. But like I say, Manchester United squad is worth around 805 million. It's like the third most expensive squad in world football, I think, behind PSG and Man City. So obviously we've got the best player in the world in Cristiano Ronaldo. Like I mentioned earlier on my recent videos, Ronaldo wants Zidane at Manchester United, so basically he wants Solskjaer sacked. Don't forget, Ronaldo tried to storm off the pitch in Man United's 4-2 defeat to Leicester, but Solskjaer stopped him. Prior to the Leicester game, Ronaldo informed Solskjaer that he wants to play in every single league game after he was left on the bench in the game against Everton before the international break. Don't forget, Ronaldo got named Premier League Player of the Month for September. But Ronaldo's done well since he's re-signed. So far he has scored 5 goals in all competitions. During the international break, he scored a hat-trick for Portugal against Luxembourg. Earlier on this season, he said Ronaldo wants to retire at Man United, then coach Cristiano Jr. in the Red Devils youth team. And prior to the Villa game, Solskjaer said he believes Ronaldo can keep playing for Man United into his 40s. Ronaldo is 36 at the moment. Ronaldo's already hinted that he's looking to stay at Man United beyond his current contract. Ronaldo's under contract with Man United till 2023 with an option of a further year. He receives around £480,000 a week, so he's the highest earner at Manchester United. He wears the number 7 shirt. We got him for 19.8 million with add-ons included. You've got Marcus Rashford. That's also very, very good. It was good to see Rashford score on his comeback against Leicester. It was Rashford's first appearance since the Europa League final last season. Don't forget, Rashford's camp were recently unhappy with Solskjaer. Solskjaer told Rashford he needs to prioritise his football instead of his off-pitch activities. Rashford, I think he'll be in contention to play tonight against Atlanta. Don't forget, Rashford was out with a shoulder injury for a while, and at one point he had to have an operation on his shoulder. We need to keep Rashford on the left wing because that's where he's mostly effective. He's far superior on the left wing to how he is on the right wing and up top. Rashford has been part of the club for a long time. He's been a United player since the age of 7 and he's been in our senior squad since 2016. And he's got a contract with Man United till 2023. You've got Edison Cavani, that's also good. Cavani didn't play against Leicester last weekend because of personal reasons. He did play against Everton before the international break. Cavani initially lost his place in the team with us re-signing Ronaldo, but if we change formation, it will allow Solskjaer to play 2 strikers, and I presume it will be Cavani and Ronaldo. I think Cavani will be leaving Man United next year. I can't say I want him to leave though, because he's made an impact since he's come in. Earlier on this season it said Real Madrid want Cavani on loan in January, and I presume that Barcelona will reignite their interest, because Barcelona tried to get Cavani on deadline day in the summer transfer window. Cavani has under a year left on his contract at Man United. It was back in May he signed that 1-year contract extension, and he receives over £200,000 a week. Cavani has got a good pedigree behind him. Won a lot of silverware when he was at PSG, and he was also a long-serving player when he was at PSG. You've got Mason Greenwood. That's also very, very good. Greenwood scored last weekend against Leicester. That was his 4th Premier League goal this season. And what a stunning goal it was as well from Greenwood. Greenwood could have had a couple of other goals in that game, because he had some other good chances. There was one chance where Greenwood hit the post. At one point though, Greenwood did go a while without scoring, but despite that, he's been an absolute revelation since he broke into our senior squad. Greenwood made his senior debut for Man United back in 2019. He's been a United player since the age of 7, so he's been part of the club for a long time, and last season Greenwood signed a new 4-year contract. He deserved the contract, reflecting on his good performances. Jadon Sancho, he's a good player, but Sancho's endured a poor start to his Man United career. Now, reflecting on that, there's United fans that are getting on Sancho's back. But I think Solskjaer's to blame for Sancho's poor performances, because Solskjaer is persistently playing him out of position. You know, he's playing him on that left wing. He played on the left wing against Leicester last weekend. And yeah, he can play on the left wing, but he's far superior on the right wing, because the right wing is Sancho's predominant position. And Sancho can play through the middle. But revert back to what I've said before. I said Sancho will do well at Man United, providing that Solskjaer uses him correctly. But it does take some players time to settle in general. Earlier on this season, Borussia Dortmund warned Man United about the Jadon Sancho problem. Dortmund's CEO did say that Jadon Sancho's lack of game time at Man United is hurting my soul. Got Sancho for 78 million, with add-ons included. He's under contract with Man United till June 2026. There's an option of a further year. Bruno Fernandez, he's also very, very good as well. Fernandez got the assist for Mason Greenwood's goal against Leicester last weekend, but apart from that, didn't really do much in the game. Fernandez is one of our best players, and he's one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. Bruno Fernandez has been consistent in a lot of games for Man United, but on the other side of things, there's been quite a few games where he's looked off the pace. But he starts the vast majority of our games. so he will get lethargic. Fernandez has been at Manchester United for almost 2 years. Last season he won Player of the Year and he's won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. We got Fernandez from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. Earlier on this season it said Fernandez was close to signing a new 5-year contract with Man United worth £250,000 a week with the signing of Ronaldo. At the moment Fernandez is under contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further 12 months. Earlier on this season Fernandez made it clear that he wants to stay at Manchester United. You've got Paul Pogba, that's a good player. Not only a good player, an imperative player as well. Pogba's enjoyed a pretty good start to the Premier League season so far. He's got 7 assists. Pogba produced good performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season. Pogba played in our 4-2 defeat to Leicester. He didn't really do much in that game. But after the 4-2 defeat to Leicester, Pogba said something needs to change at Manchester United. So reflecting on that is Paul Pogba demanding Solskjaer out. I want Pogba to stay at Manchester United and I want him to sign a new contract. Well, the other week, Andy Mitten from The Athletic said that Manchester United have offered Paul Pogba £400,000 a week to stay at Manchester United. That would see Pogba become the second highest earner at Man United. At the moment, Pogba receives around 290 grand a week, and his current contract at Manchester United expires next summer. Before the start of this season, Pogba rejected a new Man United contract offer, and earlier on this season it said Pogba's very likely to leave Man United on a free next summer. A few weeks ago, it actually said that Pogba wants to stay at Manchester United and sign this new £400,000 a week contract, and even Paul Scholes backed Pogba to stay. Now, during the international break, Pogba did well for France, and he also refused to rule out a Juventus return. Pogba did admit that he always speaks to his ex-Juventus teammates. Pogba did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus before he rejoined Man United. Earlier on this season, Mino Raiola suggested that Pogba could return to Juventus from Man United on a free next summer. Lee 10 Sports said not so long ago that PSG are ready to offer $500,000 a week in wages to Pogba if Pogba decides to leave Man United next summer. PSG wanted Pogba in the summer transfer window, but they couldn't get him because they got Lionel Messi. Recently said that Pogba was offered to Barcelona, and Real Madrid have been in for Pogba. The Daily Mail said not so long ago that Real Madrid are ready to offer Paul Pogba $12 million a year and a $25 million transfer bonus, as Mino Raiola is pushing his client to join Real Madrid. Well, the other week, Spanish publication AS said that Real Madrid are back in the race to sign Paul Pogba on a free transfer when his contract at Manchester United expires at the end of the season. Real Madrid think Pogba could help convince Mbappe to join. Real Madrid have been relentlessly linked with him before, but anyway, reflect on all of that. Pogba's had a long running transfer saga. You've got Donny van der Beek, that's a good player, but I haven't had much of a perception on him at Manchester United because Donny van der Beek hasn't been given enough game time. And like I've said before, Solskjaer should be starting Donny van der Beek, especially in the Premier League. because he's a good player. You've got Luke Shaw, that's a good left back, but Luke Shaw's been out of form so far this season. Where's the Luke Shaw from last season? I'm sure as the season goes on he'll regain his form. There again, not so long ago, Luke Shaw came back from minor injury and illness. You've got Harry Maguire, that's good when he wants to be. You know, he's had his good games, he's had his bad games, but he hasn't been so good so far this season. Don't forget Maguire's just come back from a calf injury. Solskjaer made a mistake playing him against Leicester last weekend. Maguire made a couple of howlers in that game. And his overall performance was just abysmal. You know, you've got Varane, that's a good centre-half, but he's out with a groin injury for a few weeks. He's a big miss for Man United. You've got Bailly, that's a good centre-half as well, but doesn't get in the team much. Obviously, with the signing of Varane in the summer transfer window, plus Solskjaer prefers Lindelof ahead of Bailly. I think there's a good chance Bailly will leave next year. And Wan-Bissaka, you know, he's also a very good right back, but there's aspects of his game that need to improve. And you've got De Gea, that's a very good goalkeeper. De Gea has done really well so far this season. He's one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Don't forget De Gea reclaimed his #1 spot back. So Henderson won't get many chances now. Henderson's only been in goal for one game this season, that was West Ham in the Cup. But I still think Henderson is a good goalkeeper. So there you go. Man United have got a good squad. There's obviously inconsistent players at Man United, you know. Martial's not good enough to represent the club. He'll be going next year, I should presume. I think Lingard will be going next year. Don't get in the team much. He's made a few appearances this season. Lingard recently rejected a new Man United contract offer because of 2 players. Matic isn't good enough to represent the club. Fred's not good enough to represent the club. I hope Fred goes next year. Lindelof's not good enough. Phil Jones is not good enough, but Phil Jones doesn't get in our team anyway. Dalot's not good enough. Dalot doesn't really get in the team. Dalot only plays when Wan-Bissaka's not available. So there you go. And in general, there's just players that don't really get in our team. You know, Tellez is a decent left back but doesn't really get in our team. Juan Mata is a good player but doesn't get in the team. And Bailly's good and he doesn't get in the team either. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.